Happy Sunday, everyone. I am so happy to see you. It is spring. Spring is springing. So, you know what that means? Allergy season. Mhm. Allergy season. Allergy season has come in with the vengeance. I feel like I'm that little boy on that gift where he's like, I am her right now. Allergies are allergy. Yes, yes. I don't know if that's a word, but allergies are coming in full fledged. I don't know what's in the wind, but it's taking me hostage. But that's okay though. I'm here, hazy, stuffy, and all. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Beverly Johnson, owner of Genesis Fitness. I am a health coach. I am a personal trainer. I am a friend. Oh, hey, Gretchen, thank you so much. I am a fanatic of all things Marvel and occasionally DC because right now DC is all I have until Marvel kicks back in. I went to see, what did I go see yesterday? I went to see Batman yesterday. Y'all could have told me it was 3 hours. It was 3 hours, but it was 3 good hours. We can host a forum. Hey, Betty. We can host a Batman forum and dialogue on another day because I love to digest the symbolism and everything else. Overall, very well pleased with Robert Pattinson. I think that's his name. He the little fella from the Twilight, the vampires. Never seen him, don't know. But he did a great job. The Riddler character, spot on. Again, hey Ronald. But again, that's another discussion for comic heads another day. What we're going to talk about is what's this March? You've been on the grind since January. You're working to have your healthy habits. You're trying to put everything in place. And right now, you may find that your habits are kind of struggling, that it just really doesn't seem to quite stick. So something I would like y'all to do in the comments. So pop quiz. On average, how long does it take to create a habit? Put it in the comments. On average, how long? Oh, hey y'all. On average, how long do you think it takes to form a habit? 12 days, 21, 55, 11. More time. You are close. On average, it can take up to 66 days to form a habit. So if you are in a space where you are at 21 days, you are at 37 days, and it doesn't seem to be sticking, it's okay. Because some things takes time. And the way we define a habit is that you do it with consistency, you do it through repetition, and you do it enough for it to last. Because if you have little people or if you have fur babies, your worst challenge, your greatest challenge has always been what? Potty training. So if you have little people, you know it wasn't a one and done situation. It wasn't a 10 and done situation. It wasn't a 35 and done situation. If you've had little people and you've had to potty train them, you know it took a while. And then finally, one day, your little person went to the bathroom and went, ah, pee pee, because the habit finally stuck. Now imagine if you had your little person and you said after number 3, you ain't going to get it. Best of luck to you. I'm going to just keep buying these pull-ups. You did. So with your habit forming, if it takes you longer than 21 days, it's okay. If you at day 65, it may, that next day may roll on into that habit because increased repetition. Because what we have to see, I hit the wrong button, I'm sorry, y'all, is that when you're trying to form your habits, the first thing you have to figure out is what it is you're trying to form. What's your goal itself that you're going to do? Because now we're reframing this as going from 21 days, 18 days, that you can actually take you 2 months to form a solid habit. Because actually, the 21-day thing was a myth. It was something that appeared in patients years ago, and somehow we kind of stuck. If you are on a lifetime of the habit forming after 65, okay. Thank you. So if you're on day 67, you're like, I finally got it. I finally got this rhythm of going to the gym. I finally got this habit of my meal prepping. I finally got this together. It's finally sticky. That's how it should happen. Because again, I don't want you to ever be in a space where you're putting so much pressure on yourself. And you're like, this ain't working. I've been at this for 2 days and it ain't working, because you're going to get discouraged and quit. Now, one thing that I often don't see when we're talking about setting up a habit and setting up our goals is that I encourage you to determine what obstacles might you face in setting up your habit. And so when I say obstacle, your time, your budget, your work schedule, little people, fur babies, caring for elder parents, because all these things, hey mama, so all these things feed into it. And so it may not be that you're failing. It may not be, well, I set out to do this and I just can't seem to get a grip of it. It may be very well that we don't always factor in obstacles that come in forming our goals. Because for me, I do not like working out in the mornings. I have a day job and I very much well prefer to stay in the bed as long as I can before I have to go to work. I am not at my optimal level in the morning working out. I struggle working out in the mornings. That is not my best workout. But what is my best time is midday and the evening. And that is something that I had to figure out, and where that is my obstacle. Time. When are you if you plan on working out, when is your optimal best? If you're one of those natural people that get up at 4:00 in the morning and you can be at the gym at 5:00, that's your optimal level. That's your schedule. If you're one of those that you don't like me, I prefer to go in the evening. That's my stress break. So what's going to be your obstacle to prevent you from accomplishing that goal? Time. If you know you have other little people in the house, it may not be a very great thing for you to decide that you are going keto and you got 4 other people to consider in your house, because what are they going to eat? Because you can't put 2-year-old on a keto diet. They may not want to be plant-based. Little people want chicken nuggets and French fries. Most little people want chicken nuggets and fries. They're not trying to hear asparagus and Brussels sprouts. They're not trying to hear that. So what are going to be some obstacles that prevent you from achieving your goal? Because when we're talking about creating a habit, this is about a routine that you can stick with that won't create extra stress and that won't create extra anxiety. Because what you don't want to do, and I've done this, is to have to wake up in the morning with the thought of having to execute your goal, with the thought of, now I got to get up. I just went to bed at 12:00. Now I got to get up at 4:00. Now I got to go to the gym at 5:00. Now I got to be at work. Now I got to worry about meal prepping. Now I got to worry about carrying all my snacks. If it creates that level of anxiety for you, I'm going to encourage you to dial back and pick 1, maybe 2. When you're forming a habit, it is not necessary to do all 25 at one time. because the goal is to make this easy to implement without adding an extra layer of stress on yourself. There's a difference between trying to be strategic and plan and overwhelming yourself. That is one thing we're not going to do. So in your 66 days of forming your habit, if you notice that you've taken on too much, take something off the plate, Marie. And are you still in the same position? What do you do? Time is precious. Time don't wait for you. Yes. As Chadwick Bozeman says, as he said, take your time, but don't waste your time. So if you're operating in a space and you realize that something's not working, take it off your plate. Take it off your plate. If you realize after trying for like a month that 4 a.m. wake ups and going to the gym by 5:30 is not your thing, maybe lunch may be your thing, Dean. My son says, like you, don't do it all in one day. One day work on legs. Yes, when you're trying to do it all, something that I see, especially with guys, this is something that guys really do, more so than women. I'm not trying to target, but more so than men. I have seen men stay in the gym for hours. And I've seen them and they bring those big suitcases with a gallon of water and the protein, and they stand in the front and they get the little protein and they pop it, and you in there for 3 hours. Your schedule may not allow that. So part of your habit is realizing what's realistic for me. I may give you a good 45 minutes, hour, and then I got to go. Another thing, before you create your new habit, figure out your why. And that's something that I had to learn. If it's just, I'm just trying to lose weight because I got this vacation to DR coming up. I got this vacation to Mexico coming up. You're going to struggle. Because when you're in a space of struggling, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to quit. You're going to quit. But if your why is, I got to get my blood pressure down. I got little people to worry about. Oh, thank you. I got little people I'm worried about. I got to care for my parents. Or if you're becoming a sassy senior, be like, you know what? I got this silver sneaker workout program that's free at the gym. I need to get out the house. I've been in here looking at these my grandbabies and my god babies for 2 years. I got to get out. It's about carving self-care for yourself. So first, a habit can take you up to 66 days. Number 2, let's figure out what habit that you really are trying to change and figure out what obstacles are in your way. Now, I started laughing because every time I think about obstacles, I went to a church service and the man kept saying obstacles. And I sat there for a good minute trying to figure out what's an obstacle, because I've never heard of obstacles. I've been through tests and trials, but I have never gone through obstacles. And it dawned on me that he was saying obstacles. So I have to catch myself because I'll still say obstacles because I'm laughing at myself. Marie, why figure the why if you in pain and going in motion? Because your why is your purpose statement. Your why is that thing that when you don't feel like getting up, when you don't feel like going to the gym, when you don't feel like having to address the ugly emotions, the why is what's going to say it this way. The why is what is required. Oh, I got twisted up to heal you. The why is that thing that you're going to delve into and do the introspection and go, what is really important to me in this space? And I need to address it. If you are an emotional eater and you feel when your emotions go to 10 and your first thing to do is to go grab something to eat, sweets, chips, something to drink, sodas, teas, if that is your immediate response, that is something that requires you to tap into. To go, wait a minute, why is it that when I get emotionally charged, I have to go grab some M&Ms. I got to go grab some Skittles. I need to be eating something to calm me down. That is something that needs your spirit is saying, I need you to address what's going on for me. And your why in your habit forming addresses that. Where I can speak for myself, I'm an emotional eater. That if my emotions get charged, I can go all over the place. And then I have to call my best friend and I go up and I like, and I'll be all over the place. Because I was the other day. And she was like, let's bring it down and let's talk about it. And once I got through what was really bothering me, it wasn't a topic anyway. It was something deeper than that. So when we get past the impulse to just go, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop eating this. I'm going to stop eating this. What you create is this hodgepodge of things that nothing makes sense. You're doing this. You're doing this. Everything is disconnected. And so what I encourage you to do is create something that moves in formation. Like Beyonce, we got to get in formation because it has to make sense where you're trying to go. And one thing we also have to forget for your wellness journey, and when I define wellness, I include physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. Those are the components of your wellness. And normally, if something's out of whack in one space, and financial wellness, it'll show up someplace else. And so when we're building our habits, we're building these exercises that become muscles. So where it's like you go to the gym and you go walking and you work out and you build your physical muscles. Developing your habits builds that mental muscle. Like, this is what I have to, this is what I get to do. I said I was going to change my narrative from I have to do to I get to do. I get to take a moment to go exercise to heal my body. I get to carve out 10 to 15 minutes a day to meditate and be still to calm my mind. I get to prepare healthy and nutritious meals that will give me the energy and fuel to do my assignments and purpose in life. So when you change it from a have to a get to, your approach to everything else. My why was interruption. My health was a mess. I was told if I don't change, I want to live to become my mantra. I do worry once I get back in shape. What will happen, Dean, is that your why will evolve. And that's something that, and I'm so glad you brought that up because you gave me that segue. Oh, thank you. What happens is that once you hit a certain space in achieving your goals, instead of saying, hit my weight, gotta go. Because I don't know if you can see my shirt, but it says Faith Talk, evolving all year long. So once you attack and conquer one goal, it evolves to something else. So what you will normally see is once you have gotten to this one level and you've accomplished it, something else may have been uncovered along the way. But like, okay, I noticed I got the gym day thing down. I noticed I'm working out more, but I noticed I have a hard time sitting still at night. I noticed that I struggle with stillness. So your next goal may become, I need to work on stillness. And when I say stillness, that means you put the phone down. That means you turn the TV off. That means you just maybe sit still, starting out at 5 minutes, put on some soft music and just be. And I know what you said, and be what? Quiet. Be quiet. Calm your mind. Because we're in a space where we are overstimulated. There are apps, there's social media, there's binge watch this, go here. That we never have a space where we power down. So your goals may be after you attack one thing, you may evolve into another space and go, I noticed that I need help with this. I noticed that I have this down, but I really need to work on my snacking. I really need to work on this. So this is a continuing process. If you have a day job, you've heard of Kaizen, where it's continuous improvement. Your wellness journey is just like that. It's Kaizen. It's continuous and ongoing improvement. Once you conquer one thing, you're on to the next. Once you feel comfortable with that, it's on to the next. This is a journey of self-improvement. And it doesn't end unless you want it to. Now I'm in a space where I just wrote in my journal, I had another aha moment. And I was like, it's not a bad thing. I need to work on that. So your wellness journey is not just get off. I did this, get off. It's an evolution of who you are becoming and who you once were. Because as we grow and get older in life, we become different versions of ourselves. So your 26-year-old version will not look like 32-year-old version. And the 32-year-old version should not look like the 52-year-old you, because there's growth along the way. And lastly, before we go, update the why. Oh, thank you. And lastly, with your why, if you notice it don't fit, change it. Change it. If you notice that the why and the habits aren't syncing, you can change some of the habits. You can modify the why. But like, you know what? I thought this is what I wanted, but now that I've gotten into it, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. You may put in your mind in January that you want to run a marathon, which is 26 miles, and you are 4.2 feet and a mile in, and realize you don't want to do that. It's okay. You may realize that, you know what, instead of running this 26-mile marathon, let me start off at 3.2, which is a 5K. Marie, thank you so much. Well, I'm so glad that you can join. So, more than anything, when you're forming your habits, if the why and the action don't sync, you can change one of them. Because a few years ago, I put in my mind that I want to run a half a marathon, which is 13 miles. And my body said, because I have plantar fasciitis, which is another conversation for another day. And my body was like, you can walk too, but what you're not gonna do is 13. Where you gotta go for 13 miles. And my body went nowhere. My body said, if it ain't in the car, you're not gonna go. So the why had to change. So it became stick with the 3.2 miles, because with all for you that don't know, I love running. I love being out there in the wind. I love hiking. I love being outside. My allergies don't like me, but I like being outside. So if you're in a space where your habits don't seem to be sticking, it can take up to 254 days, anywhere from 21 to 254. So somewhere in there, the light is going to come on. Now, before I go, I received a question. Someone asked me, what snacks do I enjoy? And I was like, sure, I'll be happy to share with you. One of my favorite snacks, now this is not a brand endorsement, so I want y'all to know. One of my favorite snacks, I had to cover the name, is the Greek yogurt. It is the Greek yogurt, and I use the light fat-free. What is this? This is the one that is light and fit. Again, not a brand endorsement. This is just what I like. So when you're trying to figure out in your habits what snacks to have, this is one of the snacks that I have, the light and fit Greek yogurt. It has 12 grams of protein, and it's a good probiotic, which means it helps life happen through life. If you are somewhere and you're running out of steam because your habit said to cut sweets, carry some cheese and crackers. Cheese and crackers. And also, if you work from home or you're at a space where you can have snacks at work, again, not a brand endorsement, but I carry these. I keep these at my house. Just simple little snacks that can go and grow. So if you're wondering, this has 180 calories. This is 160 calories. And this is roughly 80 calories. So when it's part of forming your habits, is if you're wanting to add eating healthy snacks in your thing. These are some that I would consider in my snacks. Also consider almonds, cashews. So when you're trying to form habits and you say, I'm going to give up sweets, wondering what to substitute, this is my snack. This is my trifecta right here. This is somewhere normally in the rotation during the week. So again, don't complicate it. Grab and go snacks. Y'all, that is all I have. Next week, we will not have a live version because the Queen's birthday is next Sunday. My mama's first child entered the world. As she tells me, she told me one day she has not had a solid night of sleep since March 12th. But that's okay. So next week, we will not be on. Dean, my new habit is smoothies. That was the only way. You know what, Dean? That's a lot. That's the only way a lot of people have learned to eat veggies. But more than anything, you're eating veggies. So that's a win in and of itself that you are learning to consume veggies. So I will see y'all on the 20th. Like I said, we will not have a broadcast next week because my mama's oldest baby is celebrating her birthday. I'm just so grateful that I have been blessed with another year. It is the countdown of my mama's oldest baby that I'm just humbled at the thought of knowing that I am looking forward to another year because I grow up. If you're in the South, you would always hear people say, Lord, if you don't do nothing else for me, you've already done enough. I get it now. I do. That if he has done nothing else for me in this world, he has done more than enough. And as I'm going into a new year, looking forward to another solar return, I am going to celebrate. What am I going to do? Probably sleep. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm for the sheets, not the streets. I am going to sleep. I'm going to get some rest. So I will see y'all on the 20th. Have a great week. And I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.